verbal noun forms for three-letter word verbs. So right now we're speaking about verbs that have three-letter root letters. Their masadir are broken down into two categories. Either you're going to have the category of sama'i, where these masadir don't necessarily follow a particular pattern, but they're just something that the Arab used, that the Arabs, they used. It's sama'i. And the second category is something called qiyasi, as we mentioned before. Qiyasi is basically verbs or any type of form that follows a particular structure. There's a structure to it, okay? And all these masadir that we're going to provide right now, they're all considered to be qiyasi. And the rules are basically, one, we have the first row right here, that any verb denoting imtina' has a lot of meanings from them. Something that's impossible, denial, abstaining, ceasing or desisting, stopping, etc. Then these type of verbs will take the form of fi'alun when you conjugate it into its masdar, this verbal noun. So we have two verbs here, aba, which means to refuse. And then we have another verb here, which is jamaha. Jamaha, for example, jamaha al-farasu. Jamaha means to stop or to desist. For example, jamaha al-farasu, yani the horse is stopped, doesn't want to move. Here we have an example. وَرَفَرَ السَّيْرُ بِرَغْمِ مِنْ إِلْحَاهِ صَاحِبِهِ. Okay, yeah, so this is the explanation of what we just said. The faras, the horse, it refused to continue moving, traveling, despite that its rider wants to continue. That's the meaning here. To deny, denial, to refuse or desist, jamaha. Both of them will follow when you conjugate it to its masdar. They will be in the fi'al form. Here we have iba'un, fi'alun. Likewise, jimahun, fi'alun. So this is the first qiyasi form that we have in terms of the masdar, the verbal noun. Everyone with me so far? The second qiyasi form is any verb that denotes hirfa, occupation, will take the form of fi'alatun when you conjugate it to its masdar. So we have two verbs here, zara'a, which means to farm, okay? And tajara, which means to do business. When you conjugate both of these verbs, this verbal noun form, then they will look like this, fi'alatun, zira'atun, fi'alatun. Also, tijaratun, fi'alatun. You guys see the connection here? It follows the same exact form. All right, so number one is dealing with imtina'. It's on the form of fi'al. Number two deals with hirfa, and it's on the form of fi'alatun. Number three, the third qiyasi form we have here are pertaining to colors, alwan, colors. Now, whenever you're speaking about colors, if you conjugate it to its masdar form, then the colors will take the masdar of fu'latun. Like khadira, zariqa. Khadira meaning green or to be green, and zariqa, blue. The masdar will be fu'latun, khudratun, and zurqatun. These are the masadir for colors. So that's number three. So first, once again, imtina' is fi'al. Two, hirfa is fi'alatun. And three, loans or alwan, loan, is fu'latun. طيب. 4 and 5 actually share the same forms. And 4 and 5 is basically any verb denoting a sawt, aswat, yani a voice or a sound. And number 5 is marad, if the verb denotes a type of illness, sickness, any health problems, etc. Then the masadir of these type of verbs will take either or even both. It could take either or both the forms of fa'ilun or fu'alun. Fa'ilun and or fu'alun. This is what we have regarding the word na'aqa. Right? We had two of these masadir. We had na'iqan and we had nu'aqan. Na'iqan and nu'aqan. طيب. Some other examples is sahala. Sahala is basically when the horse makes it sound like the neigh sound. Neigh. That is the verb sahala. 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 We also have za'ara. Za'ara is a lion's roar. When the lion he roars, this is za'ara. We also have sada'a, which means to have a headache, and altisha. Altisha meaning to be parched, yani to be thirsty. We look at fu'alun, we see that sahala can conjugate to suhalun. Suhalun. Okay, that's one of the forms. We look at sada'a, sada'a to have headache. It conjugates to fu'alun. Fu'alun. Next we have altisha, altisha to be thirsty. Utashun, utashun. Okay, it's on this form. Then we have the word za'ara taking the form fa'ilun, fa'ilun. And also you could say sahilun as well. Sahilun, this can take both as well. So that's 4 and 5. 1 being imtina', fi'alun. 2 being hirfa, fi'alatun. 3 being loan, fu'alatun. 4 and 5, sawt and marad, being fa'ilun and or fu'alun. Let's move on to 6. Number 6 is basically dealing with types of verbs that denote haraka, any type of movement or activity. Okay, any type of verb, 3-letter root verb that deals with movement or activity, then their masdar will take the form of fa'alanu. Fa'alanu. Okay, this is different from fa'lanu. That's different. This has a fatha on the ayn. Fa'alanu. Here we have 2 verbs, thara and ghala. Thara and ghala. These 2 verbs denote some type of movement or activity. Thara means to make commotion or noise. Okay, for it to be noisy and dawda, right? Thara means to make commotion or noise. While ghala means to boil, like water when it boils. It's type of movement, correct? So when you conjugate it to its masadir, all right, their masdar, you have fa'alan, fa wa ranu. Fa wa ranu. And also you have ghalayanu. Ghalayanu. Pretty simple. And last but not least, we have the 7th qiyasi, which is any verb denoting sayr, which means basically any traveling or how a person travels. How a person travels. Then these type of verbs will take the form of fa'ilun when you conjugate it to its masdar. All right, so for example, rahala, which means to travel, and dabba, which means to crawl. When you look at the masadir of these type of verbs, then they're on the form of fa'ilun, rahilun, dabibun,